Welcome back. Now then, here at This Morning, we've never shied away from tackling real life matters, and today we're talking about what might be the last taboo.
And with the average UK penis size around 5.2 inches, our next guest measures up to just 0.38 inches. For comparison, that's about the size of a garden pea.
Yeah, 38-year-old Michael Phillips was medically diagnosed with a micropenis in 2024, which he believes could well be the smallest in the world. It's left him unable to be intimate, and he's even had to try fat injections to see if that can help.
But while they proved unsuccessful, Michael wants to help other men feel better about their own bodies, and he's here now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us, Michael.
Thank you so much. We've been talking about this, and it's so important that you're here and you're sitting on the couch and you're prepared to talk about it. Why is it so important to you?
I guess because it should be known that it's a medical condition that can cause it, and that if more people realize that it was a condition when they're younger, that they could be taken and seen by a doctor and hopefully get treatment that would actually provide some level of help.
Because by the time you eventually got diagnosed and you actually spoke to a medical professional, they explained, unfortunately, it's too late for them to help with any medical intervention, wasn't it?
Yes.
How did that make you feel when you found that out?
It didn't make me feel very good, because that was one of the main reasons why I went to the doctor, to see if there was anything I could do to make it bigger. But what is available doesn't really provide much.
It's so difficult as well, I think, because it's kind of the moment that you discover that, and knowledge is power, and then you can go and get some help. When did you first start to realise that you had a really small penis?
I would say probably around high school.
Right.
And dealing with girlfriends and stuff like that. But I was always under the belief that maybe I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Maybe one day it'll get normal size.
So you were waiting for puberty to have an impact, and that was going to happen?
And then it never did. It just never did.
It just never did. Did you speak to your parents about it?
No, I'm adopted.
OK.
And I didn't really talk to them about stuff like that.
So you didn't have a chance to share that with somebody that would have known you as well. What sort of impact did that have on you then, Michael, as a teenager and in your 20s, when everybody's out there, all your mates are out there and they're meeting other people and they're exploring life and sexuality?
Just more keeping it to myself. As I was younger and teen, 20s and stuff like that, I tried to keep it to myself. I was always single. Even though I had friends, they probably wondered why I wasn't dating. And I just didn't want to go through that.
I think being a teenager anyway is so difficult, just with how your body's changing and your skin's normally terrible. I had one eyebrow too. Were you ever bullied at all, or did anybody ever comment?
No, nobody. Like I said, I kept it pretty secret, pretty much. There was a few girlfriends, in high school or whatever, that knew about it, but as far as I know, it never got around. Right. I didn't get picked on for it or anything, because nobody knew.
So with regards to you've said that you have tried to initiate intimate relations, but it's just not feasible. How does the size of your penis affect your day-to-day life? What sort of impacts does it have?
Aside from, the not being able to, I can't go out, have a one-night stand. I can't go out and do things like that. But it also affects you with your ability to use the restroom, your confidence.
Because you can't urinate standing up, can you?
No, even sitting down can be tricky with cleanup and everything.
Right. So I think you were saying, and this is something that we'll be able to identify here, if you go to an NFL game or a huge sporting occasion, you need a stall to be able to go to the toilet, and that's not always an option.
No, it's not.
Michael, what about having relationships as well? Because that must be really tricky as to kind of when to broach the subject, when to say something. What do you say when you do that? How do you handle that?
I've probably tried every way possible. You can be upfront, right at the beginning. You can try to talk to somebody for a while and get a connection and then tell them. Or sometimes you don't say nothing at all.
I mean, relationships between people, and often we talk about this, don't have to be physical to have a strong connection. And you've got plenty of friends that you do a lot of travel, don't you? So you explore the world and you're always investigating. Are you holding out hope, Michael, at some point you will find someone that you can share your life with without that part of it being instrumental?
I believe so. Like, since I started talking about it, like, you don't really get the perspective of women unless it's brought out there. And there's been a few stories about me now so far, and I've read comments. And I've learned that there's like a huge population of people that just don't care about that sort of thing.
Is there anything else that doctors can do? Are there any other avenues you can explore? Have you investigated all the different options?
Most of the options that they do aren't like increasing your size. They're like either like liposuction down there or like cutting a ligament so that it can hang a little bit farther down. But in every instance, whatever they did, I would still, like, the max you can gain is like an inch and a half, and I'd still be like what is under a micro penis.
So then,
financially, it's quite expensive.
It's very expensive for the little bit that you get.
Yeah.
Right.
You have tried, I think, looking at your Instagram, and I think this is when suddenly people started contacting you. You have an amazing Instagram because you travel and you're an art dealer and you show all these incredible adventures you go on. And then all of a sudden you posted about some surgery that you did try. Was it fat injections?
Yes, that seemed, at the time, that seemed like the most safest option to try to gain something. But even that, it didn't take.
Can you just explain or describe that process to us? What did they do?
They took like a piece of like some fat from your thigh and try to inject it in. It's not really to increase your length. It's more trying to increase your girth.
Okay.
So, but what happened is like the fat that they injected in there, it reabsorbs sometimes.
Right.
So
it didn't work?
No.
Yeah.
But by posting about your surgery, about talking about your condition, suddenly you started finding a bit of confidence being able to share it with people. Were you quite nervous when you put it out there for the first time? Were you just like, do you know what, I'm ready to talk about this now?
I wasn't really nervous because I put it out there on Instagram for the people that like have been following me for years, and I felt like they were good friends, and it was the safest spot available for me to talk about it.
And what was it like for you to receive that positive impact, particularly after, for so long, being, you know, really secretive and hiding it? What was it like to finally receive some of that positive feedback?
It was, to be honest, it was a little shocking because, like, when you're on the internet or you're watching TV, everything's always geared towards women want bigger, women want this, women want that. But then you get to, like, hear the opinions of actual women, and you find out that that's not the case for all women.
And so what would you say, Michael, if somebody is watching this show today or ends up seeing a clip of this online somewhere who may be dealing with a similar condition to you or something else that equally they feel like they have to keep secret or they're embarrassed by, what would you say to them with regards to actually getting some help and talking about it?
I would say just find a place where you can talk about it freely or where you feel comfortable, even if it's just one-on-one with somebody. But there's no reason why you can't talk about it. We all have issues going on, some more than others, but there's always somebody out there that has it worse than you.
Yeah. And as we said at the start, had you been able to talk about it at a younger age, early teens potentially, medical intervention may have been able to help in some way, but it was just too late.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't even know that there's a condition for you to be like too small or anything. They just think if you're small, you're small.
Yeah.
So they don't know that there's an actual condition that can be the cause behind it. So I think like if people like notice it younger and are able to go to a doctor younger, they would be able to get more help than I was able to get.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us this morning, Michael.
And being brave enough to talk about it and share it. It's really fantastic that you can be here on the sofa with us. We really appreciate you coming in, Michael.
Thank you. I appreciate it.